This segment is called Should We Have Hired a Professional? Revolutionary new segment where we check whether it was a good idea to hire a professional or if we should have just done it ourselves. Jared, art director Jared.
Yes.
You've been an art director here for less than a year.
Yeah.
And one of your first designs was this, our BZ Creative logo.
Correct.
Really liked this logo until the other night when I was thinking, what if we just did it ourselves? So we went ahead and had everyone from the office here in the office. So we have 4 people that we asked to redesign the BZ logo.
Oh, this is amazing.
Scratch.
So really, I mean, working myself out of a job, right?
Well, if they're good enough. We were going to judge them ourselves. We're not art directors, though.
That's
so
fair.
Maybe a better name for this segment is...
Hire my own replacement.
So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Our first logo, BZ Creative, brand new. You're welcome to try to guess who made it as well.
This is amazing.
What do you think?
Well, so first off, we've got meme culture. I love this. Okay, so first off, I think if you ever needed this on black and white, you're out of luck. It's not gonna work super well. The icon doesn't necessarily match with the graphic style of the head. If we're gonna get super technical, the spacing here is a little off, and it doesn't really feel like the, if like true center is right here, probably wanna shift that whole thing up. And then the weight here is so varied. You have something that feels so generic in sans serif with something that feels more decorative, and it just, there's not a tension. I wanna create some tension between the two. I'm gonna say this is like a C-, so could do a lot better, but
Great.
yeah.
Next logo. This one's not printed as big, but it's kind of got a artistic hand-drawn feel. Let me know your thoughts on this.
I love this. Okay. So I don't even want to touch it with the marker because it's gorgeous. With a lot of like generative AI making everything feel so slick, having like an illustrated approach feels more natural and humanistic. Yeah, I mean, I think it's cute. I don't know that it works for a creative agency. It doesn't really communicate that in a way. The B is supposed to tie back into the name, I assume, with the Z's and stuff. So yeah, I mean, the little letters off the tail are pretty interesting. This is not our business name at all. So the extra E's are probably gotta go. And then you have a lot of wasted space with how big the monogram letters are here. But we're improving on this one. So I'm gonna give it a solid B.
How about this one?
Oh, there we go. Okay. I don't love that there's a watermark on here. So I don't know if we stole this, but that's great. I'll hit the specifics first. You want kind of a consistent distance between the side and the bottom and top. You want to almost be able to create a square here, and we very clearly can't do that. It's super thin. So I'd adjust that. Are the extra lines on the outside even needed, right? This this typeface looks like it's maybe just pixelated or like image traced. We're improving, right? We're moving on to 2 lines. That's great. I like that. There's nothing here that really screams creative agency or like super specific. Are we like an industrial chemical treatment plant? Honestly, I feel like a lot of companies have logos in this general tier, so we're gonna go B+. It's usable. We could use this. So yeah, there you are.
Great, so getting better and better. Surely whatever comes next will be just significantly better since we're getting closer.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, go ahead and...
Is this you? I love it.
Yeah, I just wanted...
Fantastic.
I wanted it to be about our business. You know, I just... I felt like wanted to make it personal, real.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying the really fine detail here that obviously won't read if it scales at all. So that's fun.
It sounded like you were complimenting there.
Yeah.
There, and then it sounded like an insult at the end.
Yeah, backhanded compliment.
Clarify how you feel about it.
I hate it. How's that?
So here's our last.
I'll give you a grade.
I don't know. I feel like we got what we needed.
All right, that's fair. I do like the.
I feel
all
like
right.
we.
Okay.
Yeah, I
We're
think.
gonna move on.
Yep. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Fantastic. So many typefaces. The texture, I understand that this is being used as like a textural element. Maybe we angle it to get it a little bit more, give it some visual interest and kind of tighten up some of the spaces here. This is a lot. This is a lot. To have 2 decorative typefaces isn't the worst, but when you need a lot of text and a lot of letters to be able to be read quickly, every character that's decorative is essentially going to add more cognitive load, right? So it's going to take more mental energy to process it. So we do need to simplify this in a way. The hierarchy here, so like the point size is not really going down that much. So I almost try and go like maybe 1/2 or 1/3 of the cap height. So that's like the height of the capital letter in a word mark. The colors are kind of weird. This color combination of like, yeah, I don't know. It's, we're just gonna do a solid B. There's some work to be done. We gotta fix this. Actually, I'm gonna, you know what? Kind of looks like a D. Let's just stick with that.
Of course,
All
back
right.
to this.
Yeah.
The moment of truth.
Let's do it.
There's been some very good logos.
Some better than others.
I feel like we should be kind of gracious. Well, let's see. Go ahead and tell us about this logo.
Yeah.
And let's see if we really should have hired a professional.
All right, so I worked through quite a few different iterations of this logo, and originally we had another designer who I really respect and enjoy working with. He worked on the first version of it, and if I remember, it was kind of like this. So you have like larger capital letters, and then it's all caps, but then these were smaller. And again, I think it was working well, but the biggest thing that I kept running against is that people had a hard time pronouncing BZ, right? They'd be like bees or a lot of different variations of it. And so the big thing for me to solve was basically breaking these 2 up in a meaningful way so that it could actually be pronounced well and kind of read visually. So I played with a ton of different ideas. I tried like changing the type styles and like doing all of these different things to create this juxtaposition. And the easiest, I think the clearest way ended up being the easiest way was just separating the 2 letters. So you have B, which is already a word, and so leaving it all caps really kind of helped on that front. And then the pronunciation is exactly the same for the ZE. So hopefully it eliminates some of the confusion around maybe how you would say it. I like the name, but I just wanted it to be more legible and easier to pronounce. So we broke it up, stylized it with kind of these nice outlines, and then you'll see that it has kind of a border badge shape. I always like badges. I think that they're like a way to create some legacy and also like kind of a certification of like, hey, this is like tried and true and tested. You see that on a lot of brands. You're not going to see like Carhartt clothing without the logo on it. It's just never going to happen. And there's a reason for that, because they're certifying that this is their brand, this is their clothing, it's well made. So you've got all of that. We separated the 2. I took out the little dot and the I because it was actually running against the letters here. And so that was something that was important. You see that the weight is totally different, but they visually feel like heavy. So this section down here is quite a bit lighter than these big decorative chunky letters, but it feels like it has the same amount of weight. And if you look at it, the width here is pretty close to the width of this little drop shadow, right? So you're getting a little bit of that weight kind of carrying through in the dark. I like the Zeb mascot a lot. The big reason for including him was that I thought it kind of like helped communicate who we are and what we're about. We're like always looking forward, always optimistic, and really positive about the work that we do. And so you can see that here. And almost everyone in the office wears hats. I feel like any given day you've got like 2 or 3 out of the 5 of us who were wearing a hat. So that was kind of a fun little nod. And again, like I think illustrations are cool because you don't see them a lot in creative agencies. A lot of creative agencies want to be really buttoned up, or they want to go so far off that they feel like art house, like fashion brand. So having this kind of nice balance of something that feels maybe more conventional, but not afraid to have fun. So that's, I think, the big thing is like, we're not afraid to be creative, come up with cool solutions and ideas. But yeah, I mean, go ahead and hire someone else. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Well, I think for now we'll go ahead and stick with this.
Okay,
Thank you so much for coming in, Jared. Join us next week on Should We Have Hired a Professional when the IRS live audits the business taxes from last year that I filed, and we find out whether my trip to the Bahamas I paid for on the company card was a valid tax write-off.